Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for being here for this very moment. Thank you for taking the time and joining us today in order to celebrate the opening of Japan Center at Palacký University Olomouc. My name is Halina Zavišová, and I'm the coordinator of the newly established center, and today I'm going to act as your host. The opening ceremony will take about 30 minutes. It will include our distinguished guests. It will include the announcement of the winners of our haiku poetry contest and a short concert from our great friends Noritaro and Mana Dei from Japan. Afterwards, the second part of the program will be a rather informal talk given by Shinobu Chinju, the project administrator, the assistant at the Japan Center. She will talk on the topic of hanami, or more specifically about the ways in which the Japanese people enjoy the cherry blossom season nowadays. You are most welcome to stay for both parts of today's program, but if you do not have the time, it's fine for you to leave as well. Before we proceed, however, let me just mention 3 points of a rather technical nature. Please keep your microphones off throughout the event unless you wish to communicate to everyone in the room. At the end of the ceremony, we will raise glasses to symbolically commence the beginning of the center. So if you'd like to join us and toast together with us to the beginning of the center, we would be happy if you could prepare a glass and also join us for that moment. The event will be recorded, so please, if you do not want to be included in the video, keep your video off all the time. And now, with no further ado, let us proceed with the opening ceremony. After several months of planning, the Japan Center at Palacký University Olomouc was finally established at the beginning of this month. Its aim is to contribute to deepening the understanding of contemporary Japan and everyday life of the Japanese people among the general public living, especially, but hopefully not only in and around Olomouc. Thereby, the center hopes to bring the Japanese people and the Czechs, Slovaks, yet another step closer together. Today, we are greatly honored by the presence of His Excellency, the Ambassador to Japan in the Czech Republic, Mr. Hideo Suzuki, who has not only graciously accepted our invitation to take part in this event, but also agreed to give a short speech. Your Excellency, thank you very much for being here with us today. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So Professor Martin Kudláčka, Dr. Sylva Martináskova, all assembled guests, thank you very much for inviting me to the opening ceremony of the Japan Center. I feel so much privileged to speak here today. First, let me express my sincere congratulations on the opening of the Japan Center, which will play a significant role in the future of the Japan-Czech relations. And let me also thank everyone who has contributed for the preparation of this opening of the Japan Center, for their efforts and for their passion. So the Palacký University has a 30-year-old tradition of the Japanese studies program. At the present time, the university has the largest number of students and alumni of the Japanese studies program in the Czech Republic. In addition, the university has recently opened a new doctoral program to prepare students for extraordinary success within a variety of careers. The new Japan Center, which aims to promote people's understanding of various aspects of Japan in the region, is another remarkable development in this context. I am pleased to say Japanese culture and language have been recently attracting an increasing attention in the Czech Republic. I have recently received a letter written entirely in Japanese from a 12-year-old Czech girl. This is astonishing, as she's learning Japanese by herself due to the lack of language courses in her town. Although I was impressed by her language skills, I believe that it is important for learners to have a teacher and a community where people of the same interests are motivated by each other. The Japan Center will not only provide these opportunities, but also bring together a diverse group of people forming a bridge between our two countries. There are currently more than 350 Japanese nationals and 40 Japanese companies in the Moravian region. I believe the Japan Center will contribute to connecting Japanese people with local communities and building mutual understanding. Understanding and support from local communities are keys to successful operations of foreign companies. Japan Center will help to improve the environment for the Japanese companies and possibly attract further investment from Japan into this region. Finally, let me extend my sincere gratitude to Professor Kudláčka, who took the initiative, and all of you who have put your efforts in establishing the new Japan Center. Due to the COVID-19 restrictions, initial events of the center will be held online. When the situation returns to normal, I'll be pleased to visit your beautiful city of Olomouc and attend the events in person. The staff of the Embassy of Japan and I are fully prepared to cooperate and support the center's activities. We are very much looking forward to working closely with you and wishing you all the best. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much for your kind words, Mr. Ambassador. We greatly appreciate and likewise hope that this day will mark the beginning of fruitful cooperation between the Japan Center at Palacký University Olomouc and the Embassy of Japan in the Czech Republic. We would be very glad to welcome you in Olomouc as soon as it is possible. Our next speaker is Professor Martin Kudláčka, the Vice Rector for International Relations at Palacký University Olomouc. Professor Kudláčka is a great promoter of Japanese culture and Japanese sports and martial arts in particular, such as kendo and judo. He has been actively involved in establishing both academic and sports-related exchanges between Palacký University and universities across Japan. He's also the initiator of the idea to establish a center focusing on Japan at Palacký University, as we have just heard in the ambassador's speech. Professor Kudláčka, if you will, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Halina-san. I am very thankful for participation and support of His Excellency, Ambassador of Japan to Prague, and I am sincerely looking forward to meet you in person once this COVID situation will allow us to do the diplomacy, not just virtually, but also physically. This is a symbolic day. Actually, opening Japanese Center is one of my last acts as Vice Rector for International Relations, and I feel this is highly symbolic. His Excellency mentioned that there is a 30 years history of teaching Japanese language in Olomouc, and I have a very excellent references to the quality of teaching Japanese language at Palacký University. There is a growing demand and growing numbers of Japanese universities and students from Japan attending and study programs or exchanges at Palacký University in Olomouc, and we are very thankful for that. And we also hope the Japanese Center can support such exchanges. We want to create a bridge. There is a very strong, flexible, high-quality food bridge of the Japanese section at the Department of Asian Studies with Embassy and Japanese University. We want to create bigger bridge so we can create more cooperation, more exchanges between the Japanese universities and our universities, Japanese organizations and our universities, as well as Japanese companies. There is a long history and long friendship of Czech and Japan when we look for the Japanese traditional arts, modern arts, when we look at the Czech sports. I remember my first visit to Many Dei Sport University, and the vice president of the university was mentioning when he was young, he still remembers the celebration of Věra Čáslavská, as she was a true heroine in the Japanese people. So there is some sort of a very mystical connection between Japan and the Czech Republic, and we as a Palacký University want to be the part of the story. We want to strengthen the cooperation, and we want to support exchanges and mutual understanding of Czech language to Japanese people and Japanese culture to Czech people. There is great potentiality to support excellent activity of Department of Asian Studies and together jointly strengthen our cooperation. And we are very much looking forward to the cooperation with the Japanese Embassy and finally meeting you in person. Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you very much for your words, for your kind words, and the story of the origin of the Japan Center at the Palacký University. We are very glad for your initiative and for all your support, and wish you all the best in the next steps of your career. Our final speaker today is my colleague from the Department of Asian Studies at Palacký University Olomouc, Dr. Sylva Martináskova. Dr. Martináskova joined the Department of Asian Studies in 2007 and has served as the head of the Japanese section since 2014. In addition, she currently also fulfills the role of the vice head of the department. She's therefore one of the most qualified people, if not the most qualified person, to help us put the Japan Center into the context of the activities related to the study and enjoyment of Japanese culture in Olomouc. Dr. Martináskova, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Galina. Dear Mr. Ambassador Suzuki, Vice Rector Kudláček, Dr. Kratochvíl, dear guests, good afternoon. The history of Asian Studies at Palacký University Olomouc in modern era goes back to the years right after the end of World War II, when Chinese studies and Indian studies were opened as study programs, but soon after that were transferred to Charles University in Prague. The roots of the present-day Department of Asian Studies of Palacký University are in the early 1990s, when the Chinese and Japanese studies programs were opened at that time Far East Division. The current Department of Asian Studies was then established in 2002. In the course of time, we have grown in numbers and programs. At the present, we offer, besides Chinese and Japanese, also programs specializing in Korean, Indonesian, and Vietnamese. And we have also managed to open 2 doctoral programs. The Japanese section, being one of the 2 oldest sections at the department, has obviously also developed over the years. We have managed to create a steady team of teaching staff, and we have also grown greatly in numbers of students. Whereas the first class of Japanese studies consisted only of some 24 students, recently the number of the first-year students ranges from 80 to 95 people. Our students also have much better chances now to study abroad, under more normal non-pandemic conditions, of course, as we currently cooperate with 7 partner universities in Japan. We are really happy to see the ongoing interest in Japan and Japanese culture among the younger generations of students. Japan, Japanese language, and Japanese culture, these are present in Olomouc not only in lectures and classes at our department, but also in the activities of the student organization Japanese Club Olomouc, which was established almost 20 years ago, and has been bringing the Japanese culture closer to general public and organizing a variety of events ever since. Many of these achievements would not be possible without the kind help and support of the Embassy of Japan in Prague, for which I would like to thank His Excellency Ambassador. Finally, let me express my hope that the establishment of the Japan Center that we are online opening today will symbolize a new way of cooperation between Palacký University, the Department of Asian Studies, Japanese Club Olomouc, and the Japan Center, and the Embassy of Japan as well, as well as the general public sharing an interest in Japanese culture, languages, and issues. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Martinásková. Thank you for all the interesting facts that you have given us, that you have provided us. Even myself, as the member of the department, have not been aware of everything that you've mentioned there. And now to the second point in our opening ceremony. In the first week of the center's online existence, we have announced a haiku competition, and we're absolutely delighted to see that the competition attracted a lot of interest from people across different age groups, ranging from people in their teens up to people in their 60s. Altogether, we have received 41 submissions. Most of them were in Czech, but we also received several written in Japanese or English. The committee consisted of my colleagues from the Department of Asian Studies, Dr. Martinásková, Dr. Vít Ullmann, and Dr. Dita Nimburská, to whom I would like to express my greatest appreciation. They were faced with extremely difficult task to choose the poems of the highest qualities, but they've managed, and now we have the results. So I would like to ask Dr. Martinásková, who kindly agreed to be the head of the committee because of her specialization in traditional Japanese poetry in modern period in Japan, to present the results of the competition to us. I will share a presentation, so just a second. And here we go.
Yes, I would like to thank all of those who have sent in their poems. Altogether, we have received poems by and from 41 competitors, and most of them were excellent. It was quite difficult to decide which ones deserve to be awarded the first, second, and third place. First of all, 2 competitors deserve a certificate of merit in Czech, čestné uznání, and these are Ms. Petra Vašendová and Mr. Ondřej Martínek, who sent in these 2 lovely poems. I believe you can appreciate the qualities of these poems as well. So thank you very much for participating also. And if we move on to the third place, I would like to say that the third place goes to Mr. David Hubáček. Congratulations. As I'm informed, the winner of the third place receives a pack of, what was it, Marina? Japanese tea? I forgot.
Japanese sweets.
Yeah, Mr. Hubáček receives a pack of Japanese sweets. Congratulations. The second place goes to Mr. Samuel Frengel. And Mr. Frengel receives for his second place Japanese sencha tea. Congratulations. And the winner is Ms. Patricia Pastorová. Ms. Pastorová receives as the first place prize traditional Japanese tea container. Congratulations. However, I would like to say that there are many other wonderful poems, and as I mentioned before, it was quite difficult to decide which of these should be awarded. Thank you very much for your efforts, and I hope you will continue in your poem activity, and we hope to receive a few more poems from you, even if you were not awarded anything this time, maybe next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the announcement. And once again, thank you to all of you who have submitted your poems to our competition. Towards the end of this week, we will publish all the poems on our Facebook and on our website. So please go there and have a read. And finally, the third and big point of our celebration today, the concert, a small concert by Noritaro and Mana Dei. Let me introduce the two musicians first. Noritaro Dei is the only Japanese professional singer who performs Czech songs and especially Moravian songs, Moravian folk songs at concert halls and other live music venues all over Japan. He graduated from the vocal music department at Tokyo University of Arts and also studied music and singing at Palacký University Olomouc, where he became a great fan of Czech beer and Moravian wine. He is also the only official musician in Asia supported by the Petrov pianos. Recently, he has also embarked on a journey of a singer-songwriter, and if you go to our Facebook page, you will see a link to his song there. Mana Dei is Noritaro's wife, and she's a pianist who graduated from Tokyo College of Music and afterwards also studied at the Prague Conservatory. She has performed at a number of great venues in the Czech Republic, including the famous music festival Smetanova Litomyšl. She also performs in Japan and has, for example, performed together with the conductor and horn player at the Czech Philharmonics Ondřej Vrabec and the honorary musician and cello player at the Czech Philharmonic František Host. At present, she also composes her own pieces of music, as well as music for documentary films. Noritaro and Mana are currently in Japan, and unfortunately, because of the time zone difference, they couldn't really join us and sing for us live, because their neighbors would probably not be very happy about it, as it is about 1 o'clock in the morning there now. And so they have pre-recorded their performance, and we now will be the first people to hear it. So I'm going to share the video with you. Hopefully everything will go well. Please enjoy.
Dobrý den, konnichiwa, Dei Noritaro, そしてDei Mana さんです。Dobrý den, jsem Noritaro Dei a Mana Dei。皆さんは、日本に興味がありますよね。そして日本のことが大好きでいてくれること、僕たちもとても嬉しいです。今日は僕たちは逆さまオパクですが、私たちはチェコの音楽、チェコの歌が大好きです。Studovali jsem v Olomouci celkem 3 roky。3年ほどオロモーツで勉強させていただきました。マナさんはプラハで勉強しました。僕はモラビアで生活しましたので、今日は最初にモラビアの民謡を歌います。Vinečko bílé, si od mej míle, budu tě pít, co budu žít. Vinečko rodinné, budu tě pít, co budu žít. Vinečko bílé, vinečko růde, si od tej druhé, budu tě pít, strašně miluju českou kulturu nebo českou hudbu. とてもチェコの文化だったりチェコの音楽大好きなんですが、日本に帰ってきて、もう何年か経ちます。コロナのことで、チェコにはなかなか行けなくなってますけど、心は常にチェコにある2人です。日本でたくさんコンサートをする、いろんなクラシックもあるんですけど、今日これから歌うのは必ず歌うモラビアの歌で、オラスケリラビフィーセン。でもちょっとだけ日本語にしました。それを楽しんで聴いていただければと思います。ネビアロンネビコロボルイキレダシコロエナビザディラシビナトエドブラメディツィナエナビザディラシビナトエドブラメディツィナと日本語です。そっちの水は苦いぞ、こっちのワインは甘いぞ、水なんか飲んだらもったいない、ワインは心の薬さ、水なんか飲んだらもったいない、ワインは心の薬さ。ありがとうございます。続きまして、ワインをもう一杯しながらの日本語バージョンです。もう一杯もう一杯ワインをもう一杯、これを飲んでこれを飲んで彼女ん家に帰るんだ。だけど夜から朝まで楽隊が素敵な音楽奏でてね、それ飲め飲めみんな飲め、美味しいワインが待っている。夜から朝まで楽隊が素敵な音楽奏でてる。それ飲め飲めみんなの美味しいワインが待っているのチェコ語バージョン。エシェスヤエシェスヤポハリナザラティポドンサヤポドンサヤクモイミレイナブラティオトベチェラドラナモゼカランビブラバビベロツィビベベロツィドレビノスポハラオベチェラドラナモゼカランビブラバビベロツィビベビベロツィドレビノスポハラ。Děkujeme. Možná teďka my máme svět zeměkolo všude mají špatné situace. U nás v Japonsku, Japonci taky kvůli koronavirus. Ale důležité je život pokračuje, naše životy pokračuje. Takže jsem nebo něco当時něco. Třeba já miluji vaši kulturu, českou kulturu, českou hudbu. A vy máte zájem japonskou kulturu. A něco touží. A pak tam je cesta. A to je, myslím, že to je důležité. Takže teďka my máme trošku smutný nebo špatný situace, ale se snažíme a sejdeme se někdy v Olomouci nebo v Japonsku a my se těšíme. Takže to je naše, a to je dárek dostali jsme dárek, to je ta písnička, ale teďka to je dárek ode mě, od naše, z Japonska, z naše srdce. Modlitba pro Martu. Znova zavisać, strachosłać, ać pominą, ać już pominą. Teď, když tvá ztracena v lavěcí tvých, zpět se k tobě navrátí, lidé navrátí. Sobrochý mrak zvona odplová a každý sklízí se tvů svou. Modlitba má táč promluvá k srdci, která znovu čas nespalil jak věď mraz, jak mraz. Kawaranu heiwa o kono daichi ni kurushimi to yami no jidai wa owari imma koso ano hi yume mita kagayaku世界私たちを待っている雲は流れ行き暖かな光が私は祈り歌うあの日のあなたに泣きくれたあの日々にZawisać, strasmakiać pomino, a cóż pomino. Teď, když tvá ztracena na ravěci tvých, zpět se k tobě navrátí. Lidé navrátí. Mana Dei, Noritaro Dei. Děkujeme moc krát a přeju krásný den, krásný život a hlavně zdraví. Někdy, no samozřejmě chceme se sejít v Olomouci, takže těším se. Ahoj, děkujeme.
I hope you enjoy the concert. Noritaro and Mana Dei. They are one of the great bridges between the Czech and the Japanese culture. Hopefully we will be able to welcome them in Olomouc sometime soon as well. And that's the final part of our opening ceremony. It is customary to have a toast during celebrations. So let us not allow the COVID-related restrictions to ruin this tradition. If you feel like joining us, please turn on your camera and prepare a glass of your choice with a beverage of your choice so that we can have a toast. And I would like to ask the head of the Department of Asian Studies, Dr. František Kratochvíl, who kindly agreed to join us despite his busy schedule to lead the toast.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So these days, we celebrate the season of flowers, and we admire the Japanese tradition of appreciation of that beauty. So I wish the center to blossom and us many years to enjoy and appreciate the flowers that it will bear. And I'm raising a glass of Vínečko Bílé from the region where the songs came from, and to your health, and maybe meet again. So, kanpai.
Kanpai.
Kanpai.